Have you ever stopped to think about why the classic American house, the one you see in every suburb and movie, is almost always made of wood? It seems like a simple question, but the answer? Well, it's this incredible story that's literally built into the foundation of the country.
I mean, it is the backdrop of American life, from one coast to the other. But this isn't just because of tradition. The real story here is this amazing mix of practicality, raw economics, and even a bit of cultural identity, all held together by a simple wooden frame. So to really understand why your neighborhood looks the way it does, we've got to go way back to the very beginning. Because the answer starts with the one thing early America had in a seemingly endless supply: trees. So, why wood? It really boils down to four simple but super powerful reasons. First, it was everywhere. I mean, the continent was covered in forests, which made it cheap and easy to get. Second, it's fast. A small crew could get a house framed up in just a few weeks, not months. It's also incredibly flexible. If you want to knock down a wall or add on a room later, it's so much easier with wood. And finally, it's surprisingly forgiving. It holds up really well in a huge range of climates, from cold winters to hot summers. In this quote right here, it just gets to the heart of it all. This deep cultural connection to wood started the second the first settlers arrived on a continent that was basically one giant forest. Wood wasn't just some building material. For them, it was the key to survival. And eventually, it became the framework for the American dream itself. Now, this crazy abundance of trees didn't just build homes. Nope, it literally built an economic superpower and even helped shape the fate of entire empires. To really get the impact, you have to look at this contrast. The colonists were leaving in England where the forests had been pretty much wiped out. Wood was so rare that firewood prices were going through the roof and poor people were literally freezing. Then they land in this new world that is just overflowing with timber. For them, it wasn't just a resource, it was a solution to a massive crisis.
And they did not waste any time. The lumber industry absolutely exploded. You can see how the loggers basically just cut a path straight across the country, following these massive virgin forests from Maine out to the Great Lakes and finally all the way to the Pacific Northwest. All of it just to feed an insane demand. And to give you a sense of the scale here, look at this number. 8.7 billion. That's the number of board feet of timber shipped from just one port, Bangor, Maine, in only 60 years. For a while there, it was the undisputed lumber capital of the entire world. Just incredible. Long before the American Revolution, this timber was a huge strategic military asset. The British Royal Navy, which was the most powerful fleet in the world, depended on these massive North American white pines for its shipmasts. The king's agents would actually go through the forests and mark the best trees with this broad arrow symbol, basically claiming them for the crown. As you can probably guess, that did not go over very well with the colonists. But wood isn't the only answer, right? In places where the weather gets truly extreme, I'm talking hurricanes, intense heat, builders have always been looking for something tougher, something heavier. And here's a perfect example. This home is being built with concrete masonry units, or CMUs. This method is all about pure brute strength and resilience, especially against massive forces like a hurricane. So, at the end of the day, the choice of material is almost always a direct response to the local environment. Wood is fast and flexible, and that works great for most of the country. But in a place like, say, Florida, the incredible durability of concrete is just essential for standing up to that intense heat and those powerful storms. Okay, so just when you might think the story of wood as this simple, old-school material is over, boom! Technology comes along and creates a totally revolutionary new chapter, pushing wood straight into the 21st century and beyond. This right here is cross-laminated timber, or CLT. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like plywood on steroids. It's supersized, super-strength plywood. By layering these planks at right angles, engineers can create these massive, incredibly strong panels that can actually replace concrete and steel in huge buildings. Now, this isn't just slapping some boards together. Oh no. This is a super precise, factory-controlled process. Every single step, from checking the moisture in the lumber to pressing these panels under immense hydraulic pressure, is designed to turn simple wood into a high-performance, engineered building material. It's pretty cool. To really appreciate just how far we've come, let's just remember the starting point. For over 300 years, this was the basic blueprint for an American wooden house: functional, simple, and totally limited by the natural size and strength of the timber they could find. Okay, hold that image in your mind. And now, compare it to this. Today, that same fundamental material, wood, is being used to build what people are calling skyscrapers. The Ascent MKE building in Milwaukee stands 25 stories tall, making it the tallest mass timber building in the world. I mean, that is a stunning leap. It just shows how far wood technology has really come.
So what makes CLT so exciting for architects and builders? Well, it's way lighter than concrete, which means you need smaller, cheaper foundations. And since the panels are all made in a factory, the on-site construction is incredibly fast. But here's the really big one. Because it's made of wood, the building itself becomes a form of carbon capture, locking away CO2 for its entire lifespan.
But, it's not a perfect silver bullet solution just yet. Since it's a newer material here in North America, it can be more expensive upfront. It also requires specialized engineers and builders who know how to work with it, and the building codes in many places are still playing catch-up to the technology.
So, where does all this leave us? We've taken this incredible journey from a colonial forest all the way to a high-tech factory, and it's all in the story of a single material. What are we going to build our future from? What we've seen is that the story of the American home is just completely inseparable from the story of its most abundant resource. It started as a choice that was really born out of necessity. It went on to fuel an industrial revolution, and now it's being reinvented as a potential solution for sustainable building in the future.
And that's really the question for the next generation, isn't it? Is our future going to be built from wood that grows, concrete that endures, or maybe even something that we haven't even imagined yet? The story of the American home, well, it is far from over.